Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Happy Friday. We're doing a Facebook Live for you, our last one of the year, Lydia.
Of 2023. I didn't even think of that. Wow.
Well, we'll be back in 2024 to do plenty more.
I'll be here Monday. Yep.
Okay. All right, so before we dive into the weather for your New Year's weekend and talk about your news headlines, a reminder, you can join us every weekday morning, about 8 o'clock, we do the Facebook Live. So join us then. You can also find us on your favorite podcast platform. Just go to inform.com/podcast, look for the Inform Minute. And also, you can find us on our Inform YouTube channel. And then you can join us every weekday morning on First News from 5 to 7. So
that's where you can find us.
Plenty of places that you can get your news and weather headlines each and every day. All right, Lydia, this morning we were dealing with some pesky fog.
Still had a little bit of that lingering fog. It was foggy for quite a few hours yesterday here in Fargo. We finally did get a little afternoon sunshine. DL, Thief River Falls, stayed foggy all day yesterday. They did not get to see the sun. That fog lingered through the overnight. Once we hit sunset last night here in town, it got foggy all over again. Visibility was down to anywhere from a quarter to a half a mile quickly after sunset. So you're likely seeing some of that rime ice on the trees out there. If you parked outside overnight, some frosty windshields. That's all thanks to that fog. Now that's cleared out. Visibility is much better. Fergus Falls was one of my lingering spots. They're now up to 6 miles for visibility. So moving in the right direction. Sunshine today, looks like a beautiful late December day. Temp near 40 this afternoon.
That's nice.
If you're still one of those areas that has some thick ice out there, whether it's on power lines or trees or the roof of your house, watch out for falling ice today. With the sun and the melting, I expect a lot of snapping and crackling and popping and then ice chunks dropping down. So maybe keep an extra eye up today if you're walking near any of those icy surfaces. No one needs a chunk of ice hitting them on the noggin.
No.
But a beautiful day nonetheless. A little bit of wind out across North Dakota, but fairly light elsewhere.
Okay.
Tonight, clouds roll in, light snow develops near Canada and then moves down to the south throughout the day tomorrow. Looking at about midday into the afternoon to see that really move in. Northern Minnesota, you're in line for the bulk of that snow, and by bulk I mean less than an inch for accumulation. So it's not a big snow. Pockets of flurries. Don't be surprised to see a spare flurry floating around Fargo, Grand Forks tomorrow, but any accumulation will likely be in northern Minnesota for tomorrow. Again, very light. It does look to be a cloudy and windy day though, so very opposite of today. Wind out of the north, northwest, 15 to 25, gusting near 30. If that wind is blowing, meeting some of those snow showers, and you're just driving right through that snow shower, could get a little hard to see. I think isolated problems and very short-lived too, because this is a quick moving event. Sunday, we start to get some sunshine back, but it looks like a cold day with highs in the upper teens, lower 20s. Monday morning, so the first day of January now, lots of single digits as we're waking up.
That's different.
That will feel a little different. It'll be a cold start to January. Temps are mainly in the 20s for next week then, so January like, but not awful. Nothing at 0 or below, which we should also talk about because we're on track to break a record. The latest first sub-zero temperature on record for Fargo is December 31st. It's December 30th for Grand Forks. We will not fall below 0 within the next 48 hours or so, or anywhere on the 10-day, which means we're going to break that record. So our first sub-zero of the season will be the latest first sub-zero on record.
Wow, that's interesting.
That is interesting. That's wild. We haven't been below 0 yet, which is something we've never said this late in the season before.
That's very unusual, obviously.
I think that covers everything.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
See you next year, Lydia.
See you next year.
Oh, so cheesy. I love that one.
You can't help it.
I know, I got to. I have to.
You get to use it once a year.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. All right, we do have some headlines for you this morning here. Today, rising river levels are spurring action in the metro. The red has been rising this week because of all of the rain that we got recently. And now some areas are actually being closed off because of the rising water. Right now, the 3rd Street underpass in Moorhead, that's blocked off. It's very close to the river. The city of Moorhead says it will remain closed until river levels recede, which is expected next week. And then here in Fargo, the Lindenwood Park pedestrian bridge that's connected to Gooseberry Park in Moorhead goes over the river. That's going to be closed. Today, the Fargo Parks District is raising that bridge because of flood concerns. And then new this morning, power has finally been restored to many North Dakotans. However, some areas are still waiting for their electricity to be turned back on. It's been several days of dealing with no power. More than 4,000 people still without power in the state. Here in Cass County, we've seen some improvement. About 700 people in Cass County are still without electricity as of this morning. Right now, Fargo police are asking for your help finding a woman that's been missing since early December. They're looking for 50-year-old Sarah Erdman. She is 5 foot 4 inches tall with green eyes and blonde hair. Erdman's family says they last saw her December 9th in South Fargo. Anyone with information about where she might be is asked to call Red River Valley Dispatch. Right now, Zipple Bay Resort, a popular ice fishing destination on Lake of the Woods, is pulling their guests off of the lake for the rest of the week because of dangerous ice conditions. Because of the warmer temperatures that are going on right now, they're going to take some time and monitor the ice to make sure it's safe for people who want to be there. They hope to resume fishing pretty quickly on Monday, the first day of the new year. But their announcement comes not long after authorities recovered a body from Lake of the Woods. First responders were called to the northwest angle near Flag Island just before 8 o'clock yesterday morning about a tracked vehicle that broke through the ice. Hours later, through a search, the man was found in about 10 feet of water. He had died. And that's not the only instance of vehicles breaking through the ice so far this year because of our warmer temperatures. That ice just isn't super thick in a lot of places yet. Up in Red Lake, about 7:30 yesterday morning, 2 men in their ATV went through the ice. They were thankfully able to get out of the water safely, but that's the 4th ice rescue on the lake this year. So remember, just be safe. The ice should be 4 inches thick before you walk on it at all, 5 to 7 inches for snowmobiles, and 7 to 8 for any type of side-by-side, and then more than that for any type of larger vehicle. So keep that in mind. Things just not quite as thick as they usually are this time of year, so be safe if you're going out ice fishing. All right, Hot Mic with Dom Izzo. You can watch it today, this morning. It's the final show for 2023. Dom offers his predictions for what will happen in the local sports scene in 2024. Plus, we are a week out from the FCS title game in Frisco, but is there a change coming for next year's game? You can watch Hot Mic live this morning from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and on Inforum.com. And don't forget, for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months, you can get an all-access pass to Inforum.com. Just visit Inforum.com/subscribe to get that deal. And then remember, join us for the rest of our newscast today. Our next one's at 11 o'clock this morning, then this afternoon, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And you can watch First News this weekend. And we'll be back with First News on Monday, the first day of the new year, from 5 to 7 in the morning. So we'd love to have you join us then. Until then, have a great weekend, have a fun holiday, and Happy New Year to you and your family. Bye-bye.